99% of people store bananas the wrong way. No wonder they turn black so fast. Hi there, it's Nancy. I used to think bananas just didn't last long until I learned this old farmer's trick. That completely changed how I keep fruit at home. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never have to throw away another banana again. Wash bananas with diluted vinegar. When you first bring bananas home, resist the urge to place them right on the counter or in the fridge. Bananas are delicate fruits and their peels can darken quickly if they're not cleaned properly. The key to keeping them fresh is to remove the ripening stimulants and residue left on the skin, and one of the best ways to do that is by using diluted vinegar. Start by filling a large bowl with clean water. And adding about 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. Give it a gentle stir to mix well. Then place your bananas in the bowl and use your hands to gently rub the peels for 1 to 2 minutes. The mild acidity of vinegar helps dissolve surface chemicals, pesticides, and sap that often stick to the banana skin. It also has natural antibacterial properties, helping to disinfect and slow the ripening process. After washing, rinse the bananas thoroughly under running water to remove any lingering vinegar smell. Then gently dry them with a clean kitchen towel or paper napkin. Be sure to pat the stems dry too. That's where bacteria and ethylene gas usually start the ripening chain. This simple vinegar rinse not only helps your bananas stay bright and clean, but also keeps them firm and fresh for several extra days, all with a natural ingredient you already have at home. Method 1. Wrapping banana stems with a damp cloth. After cleaning, this next step makes all the difference. Wrap the banana stems with a damp cloth. It might sound too easy, but this classic method works surprisingly well to slow down ripening and keep bananas fresh for several extra days. To do this, start with a bunch of bananas that are ripe but still firm. If any part of the stem looks rotten, trim it off with a knife. Lightly dampen a small towel or a piece of cotton cloth. Wring out the excess water and wrap it tightly around the stems. The stem area is where most of the ethylene gas is released, the natural gas responsible for speeding up ripening. By wrapping it with a cool, slightly moist cloth, you help control both temperature and humidity. The mild moisture keeps the stems hydrated while slowing the release of ethylene gas. Just make sure the cloth isn't too wet. It should be cool and damp, not dripping. Finally, place the bananas in a cool, dry, and well-ventilated spot away from direct sunlight. With this simple step, you can extend the freshness of your bananas for an extra 3 to 5 days, keeping them firm, golden, and ready to enjoy anytime you like. Method 2. Seal the banana stem with candle wax. This next trick might surprise you. It's an old farmer's secret that's been around for generations. All you need is a little bit of plain white candle wax, and you can keep your bananas fresh and bright for several extra days without any fancy equipment. To try it yourself, melt a small amount of unscented white candle wax. Carefully drip the hot wax over the cut stem of your banana bunch, making sure it completely covers the exposed area. Once it cools, the wax forms a tight seal that locks out air and humidity. The wax forms a natural seal that blocks air and slows ripening, helping your bananas stay yellow, firm, and fragrant for 3 to 5 more days than usual. It's a humble but clever trick passed down from farmers who knew how to make nature work in their favor, and it still works just as well today. Sometimes the simplest ideas really are the ones that last the longest. Method 3. Store bananas using newspaper. If your bananas are already separated from the bunch, here's a wonderfully simple and eco-friendly way to keep them fresh. Without using any plastic, just good old-fashioned newspaper. If you prefer a plastic-free option, you'll love this old-fashioned method. First, choose bananas that are ripe but still firm, with no bruises or soft spots. Take a sheet of clean newspaper and loosely wrap each banana one by one. Don't wrap too tightly. The idea is to let the fruit breathe a little while, still shielding it from direct air exposure. The paper acts like a natural barrier, absorbing excess moisture and trapping the ethylene gas that bananas naturally release as they ripen. By controlling this gas, you slow the ripening process and keep the bananas fresh longer. Next, place the wrapped bananas in a single layer inside a ventilated basket or shallow tray. Avoid stacking them since the weight can cause bruising and dark spots. Store the basket in a cool, dry place away from sunlight or heat sources. A countertop in a shaded corner works perfectly. With this simple trick, your bananas will stay bright, yellow, firm, and fresh for 7 to 10 days without turning black or mushy. It's a low-cost, zero-waste solution that proves sometimes the old-fashioned ways are still the smartest ones. Method 4. Preserving whole ripe bananas in salt water. If your bananas have already ripened but are still firm, don't worry. You can still keep them fresh for months with this simple saltwater preservation method. Start by choosing bananas that are ripe but not overly soft. Arrange the bananas upright in a sterilized glass jar, leaving about 2 centimeters, roughly 1 inch of space at the top. Add 1 spoonful of salt directly into the jar, then pour in hot salt water until the bananas are completely covered. Use a clean spoon to gently press down to release any trapped air bubbles before sealing the lid tightly. Finally, line a pot with a thin towel, place the jar inside, and pour in enough water to cover half of the jar's height. Simmer gently for about 20-25 minutes. Then let it cool naturally. If stored in a cool, dry place, these bananas can last from 3 to 6 months at room temperature or up to a full year when kept in the refrigerator. It's wonderful to know we can share these little household tricks no matter where you live. So tell me, what's the weather like where you are today? When you take a few extra minutes to wash, wrap, and store your bananas properly, you're not only saving money, but also reducing waste and honoring the food that nourishes your family. So, next time you bring home a bunch of bananas, remember these small steps, they really make a big difference. And as always, thank you for watching and sharing this moment with me. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video.